My name is Glenn Bowers. I am the safety coordinator for EDSCO Fasteners. I've worked here for almost 3 years now. My third year anniversary is coming up next month. I am in charge of the safety and well-being of all EDSCO associates across 3 facilities. We have 1 facility in Utah, 1 facility in Texas, and 1 facility in North Carolina. EDSCO is a manufacturer of anchor bolts primarily. We make anchor bolts for transmission lines. We make anchor bolts for highway signs, lighting that goes along the highways, bridges, and such. Most of our bread and butter that we use is rebar. For about 80% of our product goes out in rebar form that we make our bolts out of. On a good day, they'll last a day. Normally around 10 to 12 hours. These gloves are just plain generic gloves. They don't come in a small, medium, or large. They're one size fits all, which is very difficult for people. Every time I go out there and I have to use one, I put a pair on and I'll normally break them or rip them just putting them on. Well, it all originally started when we had a large rash of finger injuries. We had several associates. It was about 10 associates across a 6-month period where they all had broken fingers or fractured fingers. And I started looking at gloves with impact protection, and I started reaching out to companies, sending me samples, and I didn't have really much luck. We went through gloves. They wouldn't last half a week, and we had to keep reaching out, and I was getting to the point where it didn't look like we would be able to find a glove that would last long enough to compensate for the price point, because most of the gloves that we found, around $80 to $90, would last us 10 days. And just in one facility across 20 guys, you know, that was tens of thousands of dollars a month that we would spend on gloves. Ironclad was my last shot. I got to the point where I was fed up. I'd been testing gloves for over a year with not a whole lot of results. You came out on site, looked at what we did. We had meeting after meeting discussions. You gave me all different types of gloves to try out, and then you brought me the Vibram gloves, and those have outlasted 3 times the normal gloves that I've tested over the last year. The guys really liked them. The way we fabricate our threads, almost everybody in the facility handles a threaded product. And when we thread them, it creates microscopic splinters that will go through a normal glove. And we noticed with the Vibram gloves that every associate that was wearing a Vibram glove was not getting any splinters anymore. A lot of guys were impressed with that, because that's something that these guys deal with on a daily basis, and I have the issue too. Every time I just walk out in the shop, that I'll get a microscopic sliver of metal in my hand. Yes, I would recommend the Vibram gloves to anyone that works with rebar, because a lot of people out in the construction industry use rebar, and it is very destructive to gloves. And so far, these Vibram gloves have held up amazing to all this rebar that we handle. I really like them. They've held up a lot better than all the gloves I've gone through. I've gone through dozens of gloves from different manufacturers, and these Vibram gloves are just amazing. They hold up to the abuse that our guys give them. My name is Glenn Bowers. I am the safety coordinator for EDSCO Fasteners.